Number 10. Kneeling on the frozen piece. Recently, a picture surfaced on the internet and quickly went viral. At first glance, it seems like two fingers with some sort of odd diseases, but on closer examination, it's actually the legs of an Asian schoolgirl who was forced to kneel on frozen peas for a long period of time. This punishment seems to be growing in popularity and more schools, especially in Asia, are using needing to deal with disobedient pupils. Students have been forced to kneel with their hands raised for hours and their legs resting on frozen peas, corn, or rice. A guard in China was even expelled for taking pictures of the harsh punishment and posting them on the internet. While you may think that's bad, even worse are reports of small children being forced to kneel on those like baking hot concrete and cheese grates by their parents. In Florida, Albert and Nancy Cousin took the punishment to the next level by making their grandson kneel for 9 hours straight, 10 days in a row. While some forms of kneeling punishment may be legal, there is a fine line separating it from shockingly cruel and unusual treatment. Number 9. Holding hands while being laughing at. Usually when two students get into a fight in school, they face suspension for possibly expulsion. However, at Westwood High School in Mesa, Arizona, two students who got into a brawl were faced with an ultimatum. They were given two opinions: either accept suspension or sit in the courtyard holding hands with each other for 15 minutes. The students quickly agreed to hold hands, but little did they know their punishment would soon go viral. Other students pointed, laughed, and took pictures and videos as the two miscreants tried to hide their faces. Number 8. Wearing a sign. Trying to effectively punish your kid for bad grades is really quite difficult, unless you are the Florida parents who forced their son to wear a sign broadcasting his less than impressive scholastic achievements. Michael Bell Jr. was given a sign by his parents proclaiming, "Hey, I want to be a class clown." He dropped the black of the sign read, "I am the 7th grade and got 3 F's. Blow your horn if there is something wrong with them." The teen was then forced to stand on a popular street corner in Miami for several hours. Number 7. The pound of shame. As we have seen, bizarre school-related punishments are apparently very popular in Florida, and the cone of shame that the students are forced to wear in the teacher's classroom is no different. After watching the movie Up with her freshman science students, Laurie Brayley Cutcomb brought in her own cone of shame to put on students as punishment. The cone consisted of a plastic dog dollar that Bailey Cutcomb obtained from her previous veterinarian job, but it was used to stop pets from disturbing their homes. Number 6. Eating lunch off the floor. No use crying over spilled milk, right? Well, except for students of the Charles Summer Elementary School in New Jersey, apparently in 2009, 5th grades at the school were forced to eat their lunch on the floor as punishment for a student spilling a jug of water while refilling a cooler. In In the subsequent lawsuit, the school's vice principal denied the story, claiming the real reason was a lack of seats, which seems a bit odd considering that the students were even allowed to use trays, instead being given only a small piece of paper to separate their lunch from the disgusting cafeteria floor. School officials even threatened the children that they would be forced to stay there longer if they told anyone about their punishment. Number 5. Being written on a permanent marker. Learning how to read is a difficult and frustrating process, even without the threat of your teacher allowing other students to draw on your face with permanent marker. Summer Larson, a 4th grade teacher in Idaho, chose just that as a measure form of punishment for students not meeting their accelerated reading goal. Those that didn't meet the target faced two choices: not going to recess or allowing their classmates to write on their faces. 6 students opted for the latter. Number 4. Chopping off hair. One morning, Lamia Campson sat in class, minding her own business and playing with the beads in her newly braided hair. Then, after persuading the 7-year-old to come to her desk with candy, her teacher proceeded to grab a pair of scissors and chop a braid off. Lamaya claims that playing with her hair wasn't disruptive to others, though her teacher, whose name wasn't released, clearly disagreed. The incident happened in front of the whole class. Number 3. Telling an autistic kid nobody liked him. While suffering from undiagnosed high functioning autism, a little boy named Alex Burton was voted out of his classroom by his teacher and fellow students. Alex was first sent to the office after coming to class without his backpack and homework folder, then later sent back to disrupting the class. Once Alex left, his teacher, Wendy Portillo, proceeded to hold a class discussion about what they dislikes about Alex when Alex returned. The discussion was still ongoing and he was made to sit and listen while the class discussed his flaws. At that point, it was reported that Mrs. Portillo had told Alex that she hated him. Once his classmates had finished calling him names, Mrs. Portillo found it to be an excellent opportunity to teach the children about telling by having a vote as to whether or not they wanted Alex to stay in class. By a no so close vote of 14 to 2, Alex was forced out of the room. Despite this severe punishment, a court ruled that Mrs. Portillo was allowed to teach again and keep her tenure. Number 2. Organizing a fake prom. In an unbelievably petty act of revenge, a Mississippi school district held a fake prom for a lesbian student after she used them for not allowing her to wear a tuxedo and bring her girlfriend to the event. Constance Macmillan and her girlfriend were initially told they had accused their school prom to be cancelled after asking to go as a couple. Outraged by the school's bizarrely over-the-top response to her simple request, Macmillan proceeded to sue the district for discrimination. Number 1. The Monster Closet. A teacher in Houghton is under fire after locking several of her students in a pitch black custodial closet known as the Monster Closet. After the class read a story about monsters that hide in closets, the pre-K teacher thought it would be good punishment for 4-year-old Kellon Caney. As his classmates began laughing at Caney's punishment, the teacher also proceeded to staff 3 other children alongside Caney in the cramped, dark closet. Caney himself was so frightened by the incident that he ended up vomiting.